everyone, and welcome to a new Zenphi tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite features that Zenphi has to offer, and that is being able to show dynamic table values within a form. This is one of the features that always makes me choose a Zenphi form over a Google form, so let's go ahead and get started. First, you're going to want to choose your trigger, the Zenphi form trigger, and before you get started with your trigger, make sure you create your table. Here I have an example of a product table where you can add different items and their price, but you can swap this maybe for employee names and emails, employees and their managers. You can use this information, that way it's easy for people to be able to select from the drop down, choose from the table items, and you can access all of that information easily. So once you've created your table, what we're going to do is configure our form. So for example here, products for sale. I can add a new field, and here in the different types, we're going to choose look up. So for example, here I can name it products, and I'm going to be able to choose from the drop down of the different tables that I have. Once you've selected your table, what you're going to do is choose what items you want to show. Let's say you have a third column called inventory. Maybe you want to show everything that has an inventory that is greater than 0. That way you only see items that are in stock. Maybe you want to show all items. I have gone ahead and added the third column for the inventory, and we're going to use that for our condition. So click on the dials, and then what we're going to do is make sure we select the appropriate column here, and then here we can choose, so for example, greater than 0. And this is going to ensure it shows everything that has at least one item in stock. And then we can choose what column we want to display. So in this case, it would be the item. You can choose if you want it to be a drop down or a checkbox radio box, which allows you to select multiple items. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and save. Now you may want to use that selection in other steps, maybe in an email, in a task, add it to a table. So whenever you use this lookup feature, you have to make sure you use this next action called find record. Essentially, what the person who selects from the form does is it lets Zenphi know they selected this specific record, but it's not returning the information that you probably want to see. This is why implementing find record is so important. Here you're going to select your table once again. It's going to ask you for the record ID, which is the identifier of whatever they selected. So we're going to click on our token picker. It'll come up as a suggestion, and then you're able to actually retrieve the information for that record. So what I'm going to do is set up send email action. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it would look like if I were to select just the product selection. Product without find record. And then what it looks like if you use find record. So here we're going to have our three fields. We have the item, the price, and the inventory. So we can go ahead and add those as well. And let's go ahead and save, publish, and do a test run. This is what it would look like within your form. So as you can see, it's only showing 2 items because the MacBook Pro has 0 as its inventory quantity. So it's only showing what it needs to show. So once you select one, we can go ahead and submit. That's going to start a new instance of our flow. It's completed successfully, so let's head on over to our email. So as you can see, if you just use the field from your trigger, this is what it would return. This is the record ID, so it's the identifier for the product they selected, but that's not the information you most likely want to see. However, if you use find record, you're able to access things like the item name, the price, the stock. So make sure you always implement these two in tandem if you're going to be using the lookup feature. If you change it for checkbox and radio buttons and allow multiple items to be selected, you'll notice that the suggested product field doesn't appear in the tokens anymore. And this is because find record is only for when they select one item, not multiple items. So if you want them to be able to select multiple items in the form, you need to swap find record for this new action called list records by ID. So once again, select your table. And now here we have multiple record IDs that we can select. If we choose our token picker, it'll come up as a suggestion. And then you're able to select what items you want to be able to retrieve, and you'll have a collection of all of these items that you can use within different steps of your flow. If you have any questions, make sure to let us know in the comment section, and make sure to join our community page where we post all our new updates and we answer common questions like this one that you probably run into when building flows.